All right, there we go. How is everyone? I'm Honor, and this is day 2 of the Honor It Wellness Workshop. And yesterday, we talked about mindset because without the right mindset, it's really going to be hard to be successful and really do well at any program that I put in front of you or any suggestions that I make when you start to implement a plan and you don't have the right mindset. It's pretty useless. So that's what we talked about yesterday. And today we're talking about nutrition and food because we all love food, right? Who doesn't? we all love food. And, every social gathering is mainly surrounded by food. So I'm going to share my screen today because I put together some slides to make it easy. And so you don't have to look at me the entire time. And you might want to take some notes. So if you have a notebook, get that out, get a pen, because there's some things that you might want to write down. And then afterwards, obviously, you'll be able to see the replay in the Facebook group, as well as there's some homework assignment if you're interested in doing it. So here we go. So I'm going to share my screen and let me see. Oops, there we go. Okay, do you guys see it? Great, it worked this time. Okay, perfect. So today it's food and nutrition. This is all about food and nutrition and what to eat, what not to eat, and the tricky things that we may not be so aware of. I want to start out with the fact that the word consumption, because our culture and everything we do revolves around consuming food and drink. So no wonder we don't have any willpower. The media and commercials tell us one thing, and then the next day they tell us something else. So how are we supposed to really know? And plus, we're tempted daily. We have parties and we have weddings, we have movies, we have church potlucks, we have baseball games and football games, sporting events. So everything we do in all of our recreation has a lot of food around it that it's really pretty tempting, and it's hard sometimes to find healthy choices. Every social gathering revolves around food. But I want to give you a health alert. And I just want to warn you because we don't want to make excuses. We are still 100% responsible for our choices. And I tell you this because, and I love this, you either pay now or you pay later. Pay now and you do the right things and you eat healthy and you really put interest and value into taking care of yourself, or you're going to pay later and you're going to pay that in medical bills and taking care of chronic diseases or even early death. So either way, you're going to pay. I would rather pay and invest in health care and then instead of health sickness. So what are you putting into your body? Because the truth is, food is either medicine or it's poison. It's either improving your health, feeding your cells, helping you grow stronger, have a better immune system, have more strength and agility, or it's poison. It's causing inflammation. It's causing sickness. It's causing bloating and achiness and pain. And that is how powerful food is. It's so powerful. And so we're confused though, right? What is healthy? Like I said, commercials tell you one thing's good, the next day they tell you something else. Well, what ends up happening is we're just confused, we throw our hands up and we just get lazy and we sit around all day and eating fake food, listening to fake news, and really not improving our lives. But I know you can change. So what are we going to do? Well, I want you to recognize a few things like we just mentioned. Food is medicine or it's poison. So every time you put a bite into your mouth, think about this. Is this improving the person that I am? Is this improving my body? If you were training for a marathon or something, you'd be so particular about what you put in your body. So think of that, because It may not be affecting you today, but I guarantee down the road, it's going to really affect your health. So is it food or medicine? And then realize that what is healthy for one person may not be good for you. And you hear all these different diets out there, the paleo, the keto, the South Beach diet, the intermittent fasting, the high carb, low carb. What do you do? And there are over 100 diet theories, and I could list them for you. I can even send you a list in the Facebook group of what those are. But basically, all diets are a combination of your fats, your proteins, and your carbs, and your macro and your micros. So it's really depends on you, because every body is constantly changing and every person is completely unique. So we're all uniquely different inside as much as we are outside. So what diet or nutrition plan works for me may not work for you. And the reason why I stress that so much is because there's so many fad diets out there. And I'm not saying that they don't work, but will they work for the long haul? Your body's constantly changing. Maybe it'll work for a little while and then you need to adjust. That's why it's so important that you want to go to your doctor. You want to find the diet that's right for you. Do some of your own research, because guys, we're 100% responsible for our own health. Don't rely on a doctor. They only know what they know. They're human, what they learned. And most doctors, I will tell you that I have interviewed, and I've interviewed a lot of them, said they never learned one thing about nutrition when they went to medical school. All they learned is they said, we learned about the sickness and the symptoms and how to treat the symptoms. And that's it. What drug to prescribe for that symptom. And I want to challenge you that we don't need to do that. We really don't need to do that. You owe it to yourself to at least try to do the natural way. So do some research on your own. There's so much out there. And then find a doctor, a health coach, a wellness mentor, somebody that aligns with the way you want to approach your health. Don't let anyone bully you into putting their thoughts, what they think, on you. This is your life, your body, and you know your body better than anybody. And so I've been to the doctor several times when they said, oh, there's nothing wrong. Oh, you're just fine. And soon to find out later that I was right. I knew, I had an intuition. So trust your body. It will give you signs. We are not supposed to be inflamed. We are not supposed to have rashes on our body. All of those things that happen to us are signs telling us, this is how we were beautifully made, telling us, hey, you need to look into that. There's something going on. So with over 100 dietary theories, why are 70% of Americans overweight? That is 228 million overweight Americans. And the thing that's so astounding is in 1962, the obesity rate was only 3.4%. And today it's over 40%. What is different from 1962? I'll tell you what's different. It's all the pre-packaged processed food. Guys, if you could stay away from processed packaged food as much as possible, you will change your life. So what you need to do is get accurate and unbiased information from someone, and maybe a few different people, because everybody could be a little bit biased, but then take that information from different people and make your own educated decision. And I always say, you are the best way to experiment and figure out what's right for you. You may have to do a couple things that don't work at first, until you find what does. But you need to take 100% responsibility of your own health. I was working with a client and I was trying to help him lose weight for a while. And maybe he was losing a little bit, but just not where he wanted to be. And then we introduced intermittent fasting, which I never thought he would do because he loves breakfast so much. But he did it and it helped him drop 20 pounds so quickly. That may not work for someone else, especially if you're hypoglycemic, if you get low blood sugar, then maybe you do need to eat more often. So that's why it's so important to know yourself. So we're going to talk about the 4 basics of how you use food and why you use food and what it's going to do for you. We want to eat foods that reduce inflammation. This is what we're going to talk about today. We want to talk about how you should balance your blood sugar, that you need to hydrate and drink tons of water. Water is so vital, and we need to learn to read labels. If we could do those 4 things, you will be well on your way to improving your health and feeling amazing. So inflammation. Inflammation is number 1. We want to reduce inflammation. It is the root cause of almost all disease and every chronic illness. As you can see this little diagram, chronic inflammation. It's associated with cancer, arthritis, Alzheimer's. Yes, Alzheimer's. It is crucial to reduce inflammation in your body because there's inflammation on your brain too. It causes all sorts of neurological diseases, cardiovascular, autoimmune, pulmonary disease, and diabetes too. Inflammation is the number 1 thing we need to reduce. And taking medication is not going to do that because it may help a symptom, but it's not getting to the root cause and is causing other inflammation in different areas of your body. So we want to avoid foods. I think that's supposed to say avoid foods, but I'll add the A next time. Avoid foods that cause inflammation. Number one, if you can eliminate sugar out of your diet, you will completely transform your health. Sugar is addictive. It fires off dopamine receptors in your brain. It gives you that feel good, oh, I love it. And then it's this vicious loop because what happens is when your blood sugar goes up, insulin is released and then it brings your blood sugar down, but your brain's going, wait a minute. I loved the way I felt when I had that sugar. Where is it? Where is it? I need more. So when you eat sugar, because of that vicious cycle of not having stable blood sugar and it going up and down and up and down, your body becomes addicted like anything else. So it is a neuro pathway cycle in your brain that you need to really honestly cut off. And this is how powerful addictions are. Even if you're able to cut off and block that neuro pathway, that addiction, that habit, it will be blocked off and you'll be fine and you'll have no sugar. But it only takes a few times to be completely addicted again. That's how powerful those pathways open up. They might be blocked now, but they are still there. So they don't ever really go away. They can be blocked because you choose to do different things in your life. Vegetable and seed oils. I'm so mad that an oil can be called vegetable oil for some reason, because vegetable oils and seed oils, corn oil, all of that is so bad for you. It's omega-6 fatty acids. Yes, we need a little bit, but we only need a little bit. We need more omega-3 fatty acids, which is found in fish and flaxseed and things like that. Dairy. Some people can tolerate dairy, and what I really suggest for people to do is go ahead and have a test done and see what you are, what you may be sensitive to. But honestly, no other no other species drinks the milk of another species, only humans. So what do we feel like we need to go and drink cow milk? So it causes so much inflammation, causes a lot of congestion. It just makes all of your allergies even worse. It's just something that if you can get off dairy, you're going to be way better off. And I know cheese is so good, but that is one thing that would really help. Trans fats. We know trans fats are bad for you. Wheat. I know wheat for my body is not good. It might be okay for yours, but even the problem is wheat is so tainted now and it's so processed. Even whole wheat is processed. And so unless you really do your homework and you find, and you're not gluten sensitive and all of that, and you can find something that was milled still in its, in virgin, process, then maybe it would be okay. So there's not much of that out there. It would be really hard to find. And then grain-fed meats. We do not want grain-fed meats, guys. And you'll see now a lot of people are saying grass-fed. So the difference between grain-fed and grass-fed, when you feed an animal grass its entire life, and I mean from the day it's born all the way growing up until the day it's slaughtered, the omega-3 to omega-6 ratio will be 1-to-1, which is what you want. You want to have equal omega-6s to omega-3 fats in anything. If you grain feed a beet, that ratio goes from 11-to-1, omega-6 11 times more than the omega-3s. And even if you grass feed the cows, and then the last 2 weeks before it's slaughtered, they like to fatten them up and they give them grain, it also drastically changes the ratio back to 11-to-1. So you really need to ask these questions. Okay, was it grass-fed till it was slaughtered? And really being grass-fed your entire life is called grass-finished. So you might want to ask someone, okay, I know this is grass-fed beef, but was it grass-finished? Did it have grass till the day it died? That's when you know that your meat is going to be exceptional and the best that it can be for you if you choose to eat meat. Gluten, want to get gluten out. Alcohol is very inflammatory. Fast foods, we know. Artificial sweeteners. Also, I occasionally use stevia, but the verdict is still out because it's a natural leaf. But even stevia has been processed so much. So I'm learning more about that, and I will keep you posted. Artificial additives, protein bars. I mean, come on, guys. Protein bars, a lot of them have more sugar and fat than eating a Snickers bar. So you'd be better off just eating some vegetables and some fruit, or have some protein and a plate of vegetables. It will be better for you and it will be more absorbable and bioavailable for your body. So we want to consume foods that reduce inflammation. Obviously, these aren't all the foods, but I just put some and a lot of them that I like. Guys, you can eat blueberries, ginger, broccoli, turmeric, chocolate, dark chocolate, peppers, spinach, bone broth, apples, cilantro. So, I mean, it is, oh, and I have dark chocolate on there twice, maybe because I like dark chocolate. But the point is, there are so many yummy foods that you can consume that will help reduce. And then number 2 that we're going to talk about is balancing your blood sugar. Is the key, guys. It is the key to keeping your body healthy, maintaining energy levels, and avoiding type 2 diabetes. And don't be fooled. These are just a few hidden names of sugar. I would say the most detrimental is high fructose corn syrup. But all of these, when you see them on the back of a package, it's all added sugar. That's not necessary. It's not necessary at all. And then don't be fooled that they're hidden sugars in regular foods. Your cereals, your salad dressing, breads, cheese, toothpaste, your condiments, ketchup for sure has a lot of sugar. Your spaghetti sauce, crackers. Like, why do they feel like they need to put sugar in crackers and chips? They do it because of the addictive nature of sugar. They know that adding sugar might help you want more chips and buy more chips from them because there's that addictive cycle. Protein shakes, nutrition bars, sports drinks. Sports drinks have so much sugar and they hide it and say, well, these are electrolytes. And fruit juice. I'm not saying that fruit juice is bad, but fruit juice has as much sugar as a soda, sometimes more. So you really want to know that it's better to eat the actual fruit, because the fruit and the pectin and the structure of the skin that holds it together makes it a lot better for your body to digest and to process and to lower your sugar. It's not as quickly digestible. So remember this. Typically, if you see something that says it's low fat, that means it's high sugar. If it says low fat, it's probably high sugar. And that's not good. Oh, and one other thing that I want to talk about when you're, well, we'll talk about it in reading labels. We'll take it at number 4. The number 3 thing that we need to do is drink water. Guys, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Water helps your organs work efficiently. It helps eliminate waste and toxins through, whether you pee, poop, or sweat, it's all coming out. And it helps flush away fat, and it keeps your skin and your cells plump. It's really the vital source for every cell in your body. And the recommended amount each day that you should drink is drink half of your body weight in ounces every day. So basically, say I'm 130 pounds, and half of that would be 50, 65. So I should be drinking at least 65 ounces of water every day. That's the minimum. Right now, I'm doing something where I have to drink a gallon of water a day. So it's quite challenging, but my skin feels nice. So how important is water? Your body is made up of 60 to 70% water. Your brain is 83% water. No wonder if you haven't had any water all day that you have brain fog and you can't remember things and you feel like your brain is not working. Your kidneys, 83% water, lungs, 85, your eyes, 95% water. Wow. Your heart and your muscles and your blood, 94%, guys. So water is important. It's what we're mainly made up of. And we're always sweating, breathing. And if you don't replenish that, you will get dehydrated, and dehydrated fast. Oh, another thing about water dehydration is if you're sleeping, it's really good to sleep with your mouth closed and breathe through your nose. Because when you breathe through your mouth, that's another way that you dehydrate much faster. And then number 4, read labels. And all I mean by that is let's get educated. Don't just assume when somebody says that's gluten-free or vegan or organic, all that it must be the better choice. I actually have a list of the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. And the Dirty Dozen is a list of the 12 fruits and vegetables that you should always go organic because they have tons of pesticides. They're just laced with pesticides. And then the Clean 15 are the ones that have the least amount of pesticides, and that if you were trying to save money, you could still buy those even though they're not organic. So that will be in the guides in the Facebook group as a PDF. You can download it and take that to the store with you. So what about reading labels? First, look for added sugars, guys. I sent you that list. It's kind of extensive, but you'll get used to being able, anything with os at the end is going to be some type of sugar. Watch out for false advertising. I see so many things that say gluten-free, but there are foods, guys, that have never had gluten in them in their lives. I think they're trying to trick all of us to say, you need to eat this because it's gluten-free. Well, it's never been gluten-free. I mean, it's always been gluten-free. So that it's not, why are you putting it on there? So also organic or all natural. Just because something's all natural does not mean it's organic. All natural just means it came from nature, but you know, cyanide is all natural and you don't want a whole lot of that. So just understand the certification labels and what they mean, and then use them to how they'll best serve you. Know your oils. We already talked about vegetable oil, corn oil, seed oil. Avoid, avoid, avoid. But you can have olive oil and avocado oil and, you know, nut butters and ghee butter. Those types of fats are really going to be good for your diet. And don't be afraid of fat. Fat is your friend. It is not a bad thing. We all went through the 90s with everything low fat, and it was based on Ansel, it was based on the scientist who came out and said that heart disease was connected to high fat diet. And where he did his research was very tainted, and he only used the information that helped back up his theory, but it is not true. We need good fat in our diet. I would tell you right now, if you can avoid sugar and not have sugar in your life at all, you can probably eat almost all the fat you want, as long as it's the good fat, and you will not gain weight. It's when you combine fat and sugar, which everything processed or in a package or, you know, a little bar, everything's combined. And when you combine fat and sugar, which is in every dessert, right? That is the disaster. That is when your body can't process, because your body can process, has a way to process and gain energy through fat, and they have it through sugar as well. And when you combine them both and eat them at the same time, it's just hard on your body. So pay attention to how and where things are grown, because you might get an apple and it's from Mexico, but it was picked a month before it was even ripe. So it's lacking the minerals, it's lacking the vitamins, it's lacking everything that you want. And they just let time after they picked it to ripen it, but it didn't gain any more nutrients because it wasn't connected to the tree. So you have to really pay attention to that. That's why it's so great to eat locally. Go to your farmer's market. Google, are there any farms that are, you know, treat their animals friendly, and that they are grass fed? You know, are there chickens free range, and all those kind of things, just to see. Those are going to be the better choices for you. And then it's best to buy things with 3 or less ingredients. So if you turn a box over and it has 20 to 30 different ingredients, chances are it's really not improving your health. It's just not. So, so the takeaways from today that I want to go over is that, you know, figure out what works best for you. And then let's eat the leafy green vegetables, all the fruits and vegetables that you want. If we choose to eat meat, make sure that it is the right type of meat. and we eat, or if we're eating fish, that it's not farm raised, that it's wild caught, and not too much, because if you eat only fish, you're going to end up with mercury and toxins so in your body. So it's really a kind of dance that you have to play, and you'll learn as you go. And that's why I'm here. If you have any questions, put it in the chat. I would love to hear what you're thinking. What about what we've talked about is confusing to you? What did you take away, that something that you didn't know before? I really want to know. And if I can't answer your questions right now, I promise I'll go back and I will read everyone's comments. I will make sure to answer your questions. And that's what I'm here for. Remember to drink half your body weight in ounces every day, and start reading the labels. And if you hate to read labels, just shop the perimeter of the market. That is where all the fresh food is. The aisles in the middle of the store is where all the processed and the bags and the chips and the crackers and the pastas and all that are. Not to say you can't find a few healthy things in there, but that's where you really have to pay attention. And so tomorrow I'm excited because we're going to be talking about movement and exercise, and not just exercise to build up a sweat, whether it's running or walking or weightlifting or going to the gym and your elliptical or whatever you do. This is about mindful practices, whether it's exercise, whether it's just breath work, whether you're doing yoga. These are things that are going to be so crucial to your body and helping increase your vitality and your health, because we talked a lot about food today, or just about the choices we can make with food. But I don't know if you realize this or not, but if you are in a state of high stress, which would mean that you're in your sympathetic nervous system, even if you eat the healthiest foods in the world, if you are high stress, your organs are shutting down. It's in a fight or flight mode. Your digestion isn't working, and it will not absorb all of that good food that you spent a lot of money on, will not absorb for you. So you need to make sure too, when you eat, that you're eating in a relaxed, calm, and peaceful place, and you take your time eating and chew your food, because that's where the enzymes in your mouth, the enzymes in, sorry, I'm going to stop my share. There we go. The enzymes in your mouth break down the food and help process it in your stomach and help you absorb. So don't swallow your food. That's why they say you should chew your food 30 times. Now, granted, I don't chew each bite 30 times, but I'm very aware of what I'm doing. And then it takes your body about 20 minutes to realize that it's full. So if you can eat slower, just slow yourself down, put your fork down between bites, then that's going to help you actually realize that you're full faster and you didn't wolf down that meal. And then you're still looking for something to eat. And then you realize when 20 minutes comes up, oh my gosh, I'm so full. And another trick, I know I told everyone that you need to hydrate, drink lots of water. You do. The only time I would tell you not to drink a lot of water is when you eat meals. And that may sound extremely counterintuitive, like I should be drinking water, it's going to help the food go down, all of that. Actually, you need the enzymes in your mouth and in your stomach and the stomach acid to break down the food. And if you drink a lot of water, you're just diluting those enzymes. You're diluting the acid in your stomach to break down that food. And so sometimes if you drink a lot with your meal, you're not going to feel so good, and the digestion is actually going to take longer. So maybe drink a little bit before you eat, or wait an hour after, so your stomach can take care of the food. better and more efficiently in your stomach. So that is my talk for today about food and nutrition. I hope I've given you a few things to think about. Now, it's not a whole diet plan of what food is good or what food is bad. I gave you a few examples, but the truth is most of us actually know what we need to do, and we know what foods are good or bad. We just choose not to act on it, or we convince ourselves, well, this isn't that bad, it's a vegetable. But yes, potatoes are vegetables, but you can't eat potatoes every day, 3 times a day, or a French fry because it's a potato. Know that it is being cooked in the wrong type of oil, and that in and of itself makes the potato have no nutrition at all. So I hope that was helpful today. It's so great being here with you guys. And tomorrow, like I said, we're talking about exercise and movement. And if you have any questions, let me know. The homework for tonight, and I'm curious if anybody decided to do the vision board, because I still want you working on that vision of what you want, whether it's just I want to lose a few pounds, or I want to lose a lot, or I want to, I want to get to a certain point so I feel good and all my clothes fit, whatever it is, create that vision. But today, I'm going to challenge everyone to go to their pantry, go to your pantry and look at the food and turn around and read some of those labels and think about, do I really need this food? And can I donate it to a local shelter? The only thing I don't like about doing that is that, it's not good food for you, and then you're giving it to a shelter. But I also understand that in a shelter, you need food that has a long shelf life, because we don't know who's going to be able to use it and when. So, it's food and it will sustain somebody. And remember, we can live without food for a pretty long time. I think 3 or 4 weeks is the max. I don't suggest doing it. But another time and another workshop, I'll talk about fasting, because fasting actually is really beneficial for your body, but you have to be careful. You have to do it the right way. And you want to know that somebody that knows what they're doing is doing it with you and giving you guidance. But it's pretty amazing. However, you can live pretty long without food, but you cannot live more than, I think, 3 or 4 days without water. Water's so essential. So if there's anything you guys can do this week, is drink water. And if you make a healthy meal this week, or tonight, take a picture and post it in the wellness, my wellness group, because the Honor It Wellness group. I love recipes, and I love to see beautiful food, because it just makes your body healthier. So you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you tomorrow. Be ready for exercise, for meditation. Actually come comfortable, because we might do a few breathing techniques. And I will see you tomorrow. Take care.